Hey friends, we are almost done for today. Can't believe it's still Wacky Wednesday, but it is. Let's see. It is Wednesday, April 29th, day 21. This is the last part of our learning for today. We have a little tweet here with us. It's social studies time. So I've already told you what you need for that, but I'm going to review it because I did have to make this into a new post. So all you need is a circle. And if you didn't have your family cut this circle out for you already, you're just going to need a blank piece of paper and then some sort of plate that fits on your paper, and it can even be smaller than your paper. Then you trace around your plate with a pencil. See how I put it upside down? Okay. Trace around it with a pencil and then just cut out your circle. That's how I got my circle. So you need a circle, a paper circle. You need pencil and crayons. Or if you don't want to use crayons, I know my class, you all have those watercolors that I sent home. Or maybe you guys just have watercolors at your house or colored pencils or markers or something that you really enjoy doing artwork with. You can use that instead, okay? So your circle, a pencil, and then something to color or paint with that you can get pretty easily on your own. All right, you may pause the video and get your materials. All right, boys and girls, we are going to continue learning about globes, maps and globes. Now, we haven't talked about that in a little while, so I thought we would go ahead and watch the optional video that it has listed. And we actually watched this video already, but I know we have a lot of new people joining us, so we're going to watch it again. And it's a good review. So this is about globes.
Do you have one of these? Maybe at home or at school. It's a globe, a model of the whole Earth, small enough to fit right on your desk. Think of it as a map that's in the shape of a ball. By getting to know your globe, you can get to know all of the land masses and bodies of water that cover our planet and what their names are. So let's take a pretend trip around the world. All of the blue on the globe, that's where there's water. And all the other colored parts, that's land. As you can see, Earth is mostly covered in water, with large land masses here and there. In fact, there are 7 different land masses on the Earth, and these chunks of land are called continents. This piece here is called North America. It's one of the 7 continents. The one below it is another continent called South America. On this side of the globe, we have some other continents. This chunk here is Africa, and up here is Europe. And next to it is Asia, our largest continent. Down here by itself is Australia, our smallest continent. And at the very bottom of the globe, and at the bottom of our planet, is the 7th continent, Antarctica. Most of our 7 continents are divided into smaller pieces of land called countries. That's what all these different colors are within the bigger chunks of land. Like in North America, but Australia and Antarctica are continents that aren't broken up into smaller countries. The other 5 continents have almost 200 countries on them. That's a lot of land. But what's all the water on the globe? If you think there's a lot of land on Earth, just wait until you hear this. More than half of our world is covered in water. Oh, hi, Webb, and hi, Bill. What are you guys up to?
Well, Jesse, we heard you were going to be talking about water, and who better to help you than a couple of ducks who, I don't know, live in it.
Good point.
And actually, more than 70% of the world is covered in water.
You're right. Isn't that cool?
Some of it's fresh water, like what you find in lakes and rivers, where we hang out.
And by far, most of it's salt water, like what fills the oceans. And our planet is covered in 5 main, very big oceans.
Exactly. And can you name the 5 oceans?
Of course we can. First, there's the Pacific Ocean, over there between Asia and the Americas. It's the largest ocean in the world. It covers almost 30% of the planet.
It's so big, all 7 continents could fit over it, with room to spare.
Whoa!
But that's not all. On the other side of the Americas is the Atlantic Ocean, the planet's 2nd largest ocean.
The next biggest ocean is the Indian Ocean, below Asia and in between Africa and Australia.
You're right. And another major ocean is up here at the top of the world, where there's no land, just water. This is the Arctic Ocean. The Arctic Ocean doesn't look much like the others in real life. That's because most of the time, it's covered in ice.
Brr.
And there's just one more ocean we should mention.
I know, the Southern Ocean.
That's right. The Southern Ocean is the name for the waters that surround all of Antarctica at the southern end of the Earth.
I'm just gonna come out and say that that's too cold for me.
Me too. We're not penguins. Now we know our globe, or at least the basics of it. The fact is, there are thousands of cities and lakes and rivers on the globe that we didn't talk about. And all of this different stuff is what makes our Earth so different and interesting as you travel from one place to the next.
All right, we are back. And little tweet, you are sitting on top of a globe. Let's see what happens if we spin it around. Oh, poor little tweet. I'm so sorry. Okay, I'm sorry, little tweet. So we have a globe here. Now, when I talked about my globe last time, I told you that my globe's a little different because usually the ocean on a globe is blue and the land can be shown in a lot of different colors. But the ocean on my globe is black for some reason. That is a little bit unique. Usually the ocean on maps and globes is shown in blue and all water is shown in blue. Okay, so here's what we are going to do. Let's take a look at our assignment. It says, on a map or globe, the blue represents water and the other colors represent land. About 2/3 of Earth is covered by water, while 1/3 is land. All water on Earth is connected across the globe, though we identify separate oceans by name. So here's our activity. Use a circular piece of paper. That's what we have right here. Draw your own Earth using both sides. Then color the water blue and the land green. You can use pictures to guide you and then share your work with an adult. Okay, so what we're going to do first is we're going to take our pencil and we're going to draw some land masses. Now, we are not going to try to draw them in the shapes of the actual continents. That would be a little bit too challenging. I guess if you would like that challenge, you absolutely may try that. But if that seems like a little too much for you to do on your own, then you can just draw any sort of squiggly closed shape to represent land. Okay, now remember, most of our Earth is water, so we don't want like huge chunks of land. We do want most of this to be water. So I'm just gonna do like a squiggly, now make sure it's all closed, right? A squiggly landmass right here. Again, this is gonna be hard for me to do with one hand. Maybe I'll do a squiggly, different shaped landmass here. And then maybe I'll do a squiggly, oh my, this is tricky. Little tweet, you need to hold my paper for me. Maybe that will help. A squiggly landmass here. There we go. Oh, that one looks kind of like a heart. Okay, so I have a few land masses here and mostly ocean. So everything around the land masses is going to be ocean. I'm going to do the same thing on the other side, okay? So let me do a little landmass here. Maybe this landmass is shaped like that. That's a crazy one. Ooh, if I do another one like this, it'll look like a smiley face. Maybe I'll do like that. Okay, so I have some land masses here, and then the rest around is going to be ocean. Now, like I said, if you want to draw them in the shapes of the actual continents, you absolutely may do that. I think the most important thing is that we know that the Earth is mostly ocean, and we know that it's represented with the color blue, and then the land masses are represented by the color green. So here's what we're going to do now. Now that we have our land masses drawn, this is where you get to get a little creative. You can use crayons, markers, colored pencils, watercolors, whatever you want to color this in. Now, the colors are very, very important. You're not going to color it rainbow colored. You're not going to do it like purple and pink, all right? You are going to use the colors that actually represent land and water. Now, I do know that on some maps and globes, the land can be shown in different colors, but we're going to use green for today because that's what our instructions say. So, and I'm not going to take the time to color this in. And actually, I think it would be really fun to use watercolors. But I do just want to show you how I would color my landmass in green. I'm not going to color in the whole thing, like I said. And then all the ocean around it would color in blue. So all of this ocean would be colored in blue. And make sure you do really nice coloring or painting, because this is great artwork that you can be really proud of when you are done. So I would color or paint all the land masses and oceans on one side, and then if you use paint, of course, you have to let it dry before you flip it over. Then I would flip it over and do the other side, okay? Now that I'm thinking about it with watercolor, especially since you're doing both sides, make sure you don't get your paper too wet or it's gonna rip. All right, after you're done with that, it says to show it to an adult, and you can explain which parts are the land and which parts are the water, and also keep it because your teacher might like to see a picture of that. All right, guys, it is time for you to go ahead and draw your land masses and color or paint them in. So you may pause the video and get to work. All right, everybody, we're done for today. Little Tweet and I are so proud of you. I hope that you learned something new today. I hope you worked hard. If you're in my class and your family thinks you did an awesome job, don't forget to glue on your little tweet, okay, on your chart. Good work, everybody. See you again tomorrow.